Nicki Minaj just called SZA ugly, mocked her freckles, and dragged her into one of the messiest Twitter meltdowns we've seen all year. Fans are turning on her.
Nicki, I can't keep defending you, girl. It's getting so hard to be a Barb.
Even her most loyal supporters are saying enough is enough. And did Nicki Minaj just destroy her own legacy for nothing? It all started with a tweet. Not from SZA, but from Nicki Minaj. Out of nowhere, Nicki took aim at Terrence "Punch" Henderson, the president of SZA's label, Top Dog Entertainment. In a string of tweets, she accused him of bullying her online in the past and gave him the nickname -30 million, a jab at the alleged 30 million fake streams that were reportedly removed from SZA's album on Spotify. But then she pivoted. Suddenly, Nicki wasn't just talking about Punch, she was dragging SZA into it and using hashtags like Justice for DeMaury, referencing a lawsuit involving Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez and her daughter. Nicki claimed this man had bullied her on Twitter after she allegedly rejected his business proposition. She painted it as a calculated smear campaign, retaliation for not playing by industry rules. But the lines between business, personal beef, and conspiracy started to blur. Nicki wasn't just tweeting accusations, she was firing off insults. She called the TDE exec a tiny executive, said he was insecure, and hinted that there was a long-running attempt to sabotage her brand. Suddenly, it didn't feel like Nicki was venting, it felt like she was unraveling in public. And then came SZA's now iconic response: Mercury retrograde, don't take the bait. Silly goose. To most fans, it was harmless. A cute, vague tweet, maybe even a reminder to not let the internet steal your peace. But to Nicki, it was war. She quote-tweeted SZA's post and fired off a stream of insults, mocking her freckles, calling her ugly, and dragging her into a conflict she never wanted to be part of. This was no longer about business, it was personal, messy, and spiraling fast. Nicki Minaj was supposed to be done beefing with other women in rap. After years of feuds with Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and Latto, fans thought maybe she'd finally let the music speak for itself. But out of nowhere, Nicki decided to ignite another fire. And this time, her target was the last person fans expected, SZA. It all started when Nicki posted a series of cryptic tweets that fans instantly connected to SZA. She didn't name names, but she didn't have to. The shade was blatant. She implied that certain R&B girls who pretend to be sweet were secretly fake behind the scenes, and she wasn't buying the act anymore. The internet exploded. Fan accounts pieced everything together almost instantly, digging up old interviews, past award show moments, even social media likes that hinted at hidden tension. And then came the bombshell. Nicki dropped a remix on Instagram Live, rapping over SZA's track Kill Bill. Except she changed the lyrics and ended the verse with a line so disrespectful, fans could hardly believe it. You sing like a saint, but act like a snake. That was it. That one line flipped the internet on its head. People weren't even debating if it was about SZA, it was now about why.
And my thing is, how the fuck did SZA even get involved into this? Like, she literally don't bother nobody. Like, don't get me wrong, I will always be a Barb. I love Nicki, but I feel like she's the problem. Like, it's no way Nicki has gotten into it with every single female in the music industry. I can't name one she cool with. Like, she got beef with everybody.
Why would Nicki go after someone who had never publicly wronged her? And was this another attempt at staying relevant through drama? The worst part? Nicki didn't clarify a thing. She just kept tweeting vague affirmations and reposting fan edits hyping up her verse. And while the Barbs defended her like always, a growing number of fans, even loyal ones, started to feel uneasy. Nicki was always known for her bars, her dominance, and her unapologetic confidence, but this felt different. It didn't feel like a boss move. It felt like desperation. Nicki Minaj has always walked the line between fearless and controversial. She's had beefs, she's clapped back, but what made this feud different and so damaging was who she picked the fight with. SZA isn't just another pop girl. She's arguably the most beloved R&B artist of this generation. She's not known for drama, not known for sneak disses, and not even competitive in the same lane. So this wasn't just another industry clash. This looked like bullying. For years, Nicki's fans defended her every move by saying she had to fight to get her place in the game, that she was treated unfairly, especially as a black woman in hip-hop. And they were right. But in this situation, Nicki wasn't fighting upward, she was punching down. And people noticed. Twitter Spaces erupted with debates. TikTok creators made hour-long breakdowns of Nicki's history of attacking women who were gaining popularity. It was a rare shift. The same internet that once crowned her the queen of rap was now asking whether the crown was starting to tarnish. To make matters worse, music critics picked up the story, and they didn't hold back. Billboard called the moment disappointing. Rolling Stone said it felt like an insecure reaction to losing cultural dominance. And if that wasn't enough, the timing couldn't have been worse. SZA had just announced her new album rollout. She was finally being recognized at award shows that once ignored her. And in the eyes of many, Nicki had just thrown a tantrum just when SZA was finally winning. When the drama first started brewing, fans were glued to social media, waiting for a response from SZA. But she didn't give them one. Instead, she posted a single Instagram story. A black screen with the words, "Love is greater than hate, always." No names, no shade, just peace. And in that one post, she reminded everyone why they respected her in the first place. But while SZA took the high road, the industry stayed eerily silent. Artists who had previously collaborated with Nicki didn't say a word. No public support, no fire emojis under her diss, nothing. That silence was loud. The only notable reaction came from Kehlani, who liked a tweet saying, "Nicki needs to let these girls shine." That like quickly made headlines and fueled rumors that many artists were done with Nicki's antics behind the scenes. Even fans started making lists of stars who had stopped following her or hadn't promoted her latest music. It was speculation, yes, but it felt plausible. Because the truth is, many artists have whispered for years about Nicki being difficult to work with or falling out with people quietly. So when something like this happens in public, it just confirms what many already suspected. And then came the final blow. A radio DJ leaked that multiple R&B artists had privately pulled out of a planned remix with Nicki. They didn't want to be associated with the drama. That rumor hasn't been confirmed, but it spread like wildfire, and the damage was already done. At first, it felt like a one-off. Then it became a pattern. And now, some fans are starting to believe that Nicki Minaj might be her own worst enemy. The list of women she's feuded with is no longer short. It's not just Cardi B, it's Megan, Lotto, Remy Ma, Miley Cyrus, and now possibly SZA. And each time, fans give her the benefit of the doubt. They say she's just defending herself. But this time, fewer people are buying it. Even some barbs have quietly stepped back. They still love her music. They still respect her legacy. But they're tired of defending the same behavior over and over. And when your own fans start getting quiet, that's when you know something's changed. People aren't saying Nicki's career is over, but the idea that she's untouchable, that she can do no wrong, that's fading fast. For years, Nicki Minaj built an empire out of being that girl. But if she keeps letting her ego write checks her legacy can't cash, she might find herself on the wrong side of history, and all alone on the throne she fought so hard to build. In the end, this wasn't just a Twitter fight. It was a glimpse into something much deeper: the pressure of legacy, the fear of being replaced, and the danger of turning your platform into a battlefield. Nicki Minaj is still one of the most influential artists of her generation, but influence doesn't mean immunity. And right now, it feels like her own words are doing more damage to her legacy than any industry sabotage ever could. Meanwhile, SZA walks away from this untouched, not just professionally, but in public opinion. She didn't scream, she didn't retaliate, she didn't even flinch, and somehow she came out looking stronger. That's what real power looks like. Not who yells the loudest, but who stays focused when the noise gets deafening. So now the question isn't just what did Nicki say, it's why does she keep doing this? And at what point do we stop calling it defending herself and start calling it self-destruction? Because the truth is, you can be the queen, but if you burn every bridge on your way to the throne, you might end up ruling alone.